everyone, and welcome back to the channel. A little bit different of a setup today, but we are here doing our thing and eating some licorice. I know black licorice is not everyone's jam, but I'm a huge fan. This is the authentic Australian stuff. So let's get started without further ado. I don't know if I can kind of like, I don't know. Yeah guys, little black licorice thingamabobbers. As a warning guys, it is Friday, as I'm sure you're well aware, and the weather has been beautiful, so I have all the windows open. It's generally pretty quiet, lots of leaves rustling and wind. But being in the area that I'm in, which tends to be a little flashier with people with their cars and such, sometimes there are some loud cars driving around, or potentially a dog barking. So I apologize. I thought I would just talk a little bit about what I'm going to do this weekend, and maybe a little bit about what I did this week. Watching golf for some reason. I've just kind of finished up work for the day, so I kind of sent out my last couple emails, and now I'm just hanging out. It's like 5 p.m. on a Friday. Felt like it was a pretty productive week. How about you guys? How was the work week? How was the school week? What did you do? Did you accomplish some things that you wanted to? Like many other people in this world, I tend to sometimes struggle with not knocking into my microphone. Sometimes I tend to struggle a little bit with motivating myself to do a specific task that I don't really want to do. I.e. schoolwork. Maybe some chores around the house. Or it might be any number of things. But I feel very productive when I do finally do that task, and not just snoozing it over and over, you know. The same way that sometimes we hit the snooze button on our alarm clock in the morning because we're so freaking tired. I think we also tend to sometimes hit the snooze button on activities or responsibilities that we have. Because as a wise man once said, it's much easier to not do things than to do things. And when I say not do things, I don't mean just lay on the couch and stare at the wall. That's what it used to mean before we had phones. I remember I used to just stare at the wall. That was like one of my favorite activities. Now, have you ever tried just like, darn it, I gotta move my hand. I'm gonna move this over here. I keep knocking into the microphone. With these like kind of jerry-rigged setups, sometimes it's easy just to bump into something. So, I guess, so I don't go off on a tangent here, I was able to finish a few tasks that I want to do. And they're such simple tasks, sometimes it's like making a phone call to like a place, you know, like a phone call. And I just psych myself out. I'm like, oh, I know I'm gonna be put on hold. I know I'm gonna have like, it's probably gonna be difficult to get to an operator. I'm gonna have to click like 200 buttons, and then I'm gonna, you know, get put on hold, and then they're gonna hang up on me. Has that ever happened to you where you're like put on hold and you've been on hold for like 10-15 minutes or maybe longer, and then the phone just like hangs up? What is that? What the heck is that? Now, I think I know the answer because I used to work in hotels, and there were a few times where I accidentally hung up on people. I promise it was always an accident, even though some people were kind of rude, and I wouldn't have minded like hanging up on them. But yeah, some people with hotels in hospitality were like in, because I've worked in hotels and I've worked in like at apartment complexes. So I dealt a lot with people like, you know, in their living situations or their vacation situations. And yeah, people can be, most people are very, very nice, but some people can be very like demanding. And it's like, give it to me now. And the thing that bugged me a little bit about like the hospitality industry is there's no like morally correct, you know, when it comes to like hospitality. When you work at like a hotel or a resort or anything like that, that whole saying that the customer is always right is a funny saying, because the customer is not always right. Sometimes they ask for something, and you, as the employee and the expert of the business, tell them, hey, that's not possible, or hey, we have to do it like this. And if it's not exactly how they want it, people can get very frustrated. And then, you know, and in some industries you can just say, well, I'm sorry, miss, or I'm sorry, sir, like that's it. But in hospitality, you have to make it right. You have to make the person happy no matter what. So if they're asking for something that's totally unrealistic, you may not be able to do it, but you at least have to do the song and dance. And, you know, leave no stones unturned to see if you can do it or not. So it can be tough. But yeah, guys, I worked in that for a long time, and after many years of hospitality and property management, I couldn't wait to like work in a job. That was not customer facing. So I went from property management to a tech company where we were building software, and I was all like not customer facing, which was amazing. Now I'm customer facing again, and I don't mind, but everything's remote. I love being at home and not in an office, you know, but I'm certainly not against being in an office. I I used to think that remote beat everything. If the job is remote, who cares about all the other stuff? But as you get older and your priorities change and you have families and stuff, and money is more and more important to you, you tend to focus on other things, you know. So now maybe the pay is not as important, but the benefits are really important. Or the flexibility of being able to work from home is really important. So, but guys, once again, in trying not to get on a tangent, I have gotten on a tangent. So, what am I going to do this weekend? If you are still with me, I appreciate it. There's delicious little black licorice. So, I will finish up this video and try to get it posted as soon as possible, because my last handful of videos have all been posted at like 2 or 3 a.m. Sometimes late at night is just a really good chance for me to have quiet, to have some alone time. Because for me to film, you know, it has to be quiet. There has to be no one walking around, no noises and stuff. Sometimes if we have people in the house or something, you know, it's impossible to, you know, limit the noise. So, like I said, I know there's going to be some ambient noises and such, and some trucks and things, but I just think it's very relaxing to have like kind of the birds chirping and the wind. The weather is very pleasant. So, with that, I would like to potentially do some sort of outdoor type activity. The beach is always an option. I mean, I'm walking distance to the beach. I'm watching the Masters right now. Golf. It's really beautiful where they are. Golf is one of those sports, just on a side note, that I totally glamorize. Like, I would love to be good at golf. But part of me, because it more so for the vibe, part of me just has like no interest in getting good at golf. But I would just love to be out there golfing. It just looks really relaxing and fun. But I also feel like if you don't have a caddy or a golf cart or whatever, you're just getting a lot of steps in and a lot of walking. Because think about, you drive the ball 200 yards or whatever, and then you gotta go just chase after it. So it's kind of interesting. But yeah, it's beautiful, like greenery and everything. But yeah, I'd like to enjoy the weather this weekend. I've been wanting to go swimming. There's like an aquatic center over here. I'd like to do that, or maybe go to the beach. I know I have to go to the gym today. I get to go to the gym. I do love going to the gym. I just don't like going when it's really busy, which is like this time. Like 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Friday's usually not as bad because I think a lot of people take Friday off, and because they're gonna go out and, you know, do stuff. But yeah, Friday, I mean, really any weekday at like 5 or 6 p.m., everyone's off work, and the gym is so busy. There's so many people, guys, girls, you name it, and it's like, you know, my workouts generally have like 5, you know, maybe 5 different exercises. And you get there, and every machine is taken. Every weight, every spot on the floor. So I go in, I like try to find somewhere to stretch. There's like this VIP room that I usually stretch in, but sometimes they have classes in there, so I can't go in there. So I have to just like go on the turf, the big public turf, and which is fine, but during like busy hours, it is like totally filled. There's nowhere to go. So you're like on the mat in this, you know, on the turf, like in the corner, just trying to be as small as possible and not get in people's way. But I'm 6'6" with like really long arms, so I'm always just bumping into people and stuff. But yeah, I get to the gym, I do my stretches, and then I look at my little app that has my exercise, and I'm just like going through it. I'm like, alright, well, let's see, that machine's taken. Alright, how about this? Oh, that machine's taken. Alright, well, maybe I'll modify it. And sometimes I just end up modifying the exercise. I'll Google, like, what can I do instead of, bend over row or something like that. Yeah, a lot of times the squat racks are taken. The bench press is always taken. The leg press is always taken. It's like the main exercises are always taken. And then you wait around. So sometimes you have one exercise left and you have to do it. So you do that awkward thing where you stand near the person and you kind of like try to be visible. Just, you don't want to rush the person, but you're kind of just trying to hint at like, hey, I want to go on the machine after you. I don't want anyone to get on before me. And they always take so long. You always end up going after the guy that like is doing like 8 sets of like 30 reps. And then he sits on his phone for like 10 minutes in between each set. Like you watch this guy do like 5 sets, and then you ask, hey, how many sets do you have left? And he's like, oh, I got 5 more. I'm like, what? I do 3 to 4 sets of every exercise. Like, it doesn't take that long. Some people, I like to do the Stairmaster after the workout. Some people on the Stairmaster, they'll like walk a little bit, and then they'll like stop and just stand there and like text on their phone. And I'm like, the other day I was like waiting to get on the Stairmaster. I'm like, dude, come on. Like, just kept stopping. So, I don't know, guys. I like to be like bang bang, get through things quickly and things like that. Get the workout knocked out, move on with my day. I don't like to be at the gym for 2-3 hours. I just feel like I'm like wasting time because I know I can finish a workout in like an hour. So if I'm there for like 2 hours, I start to get kind of anxious, like I need to go. So, but I'll have to eat the rest of my little gummy things. Probably digest a little bit. Maybe I'll play some pickleball tonight. That might be fun. So I'll play. Wow, I don't know what that was. So I'll probably finish my gummies, edit my video, post it. Maybe have a protein shake. Then go to the gym. I keep thinking I have the dog. I usually have the dog here. But the dog is actually with his grandmother right now. So I keep thinking he's here, thinking like, oh, I need to watch oh no, never mind. When you're used to having a dog 99% of the time, and then there's like a day here and there where you don't have the dog in the house, it's like PTSD. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I haven't walked the dog in like 6 hours. Oh wait, he's not here. So I have those moments. It's like when I'm used to something day after day, it takes some time for me to get used to not having it. Like I'm used to taking a couple walks throughout the day, for the dog, because he's like a little dog. He has so much energy. So if I don't walk him, he just starts wandering around. He starts eating stuff off the floor. He starts just like licking everything, making a mess. The more energy he has, the more likely he is to like rip something up or get into trouble. And he's an old man. He's not a puppy. But he's a mix of 2 breeds that are very energetic. Golden Retriever and like a terrier. So he's like a hunting dog and an explorer dog. And he's very cute. He's like a little Golden Retriever. But when you wake up first thing in the morning, we have him crate trained. And he loves his crate. Some people don't like the crate thing, but he loves it. He goes in there by himself. Like, we give him treats. He loves it in there. You let him out of the crate. zoomies, he's all over the place. So yeah, got some neighbors walking by here. I'm a little afraid that I picked up a lot of extra noise in this video, but like I said, the weather's really nice. I don't think it, some ambient sounds are the worst thing in the world. One thing I cannot stand in YouTube ASMR videos is when there's like a ton of static and then the person's voice is barely louder than the static. Like ASMR is 99% the sound. The visual is important too, but the sound is so important. And like, if your video is just all static and then your voice is like muffled and it's like not good quality, then it's just not the most enjoyable. And I know I don't have the best sound in the world, and I've improved it a lot, I think. But yeah, you just gotta put in that work to make sure you find a good quiet spot in the house and get a good microphone and all those things. Well guys, I just realized I'm about 20 minutes into the video. I think I'm gonna call it because I've had a lot of these little gummy things. If you are a fan of black licorice, you've got to try these. They are really good. This brand, Darryl Lee, is good. They make the strawberry ones too, which taste like the red vines. So highly recommend.